Hey guys, what's up? I'm here in the Appalachian Mountains, deep in one of the oldest and wildest ranges in the US, and today I'm going to do something a little different. You've been asking for more mystery, more real exploration, and yeah, I heard you, so here we are. I tilt the camera to catch the ridgeline behind me. Endless trees rolling over the hills like waves frozen in green. The air feels damp, crisp in that way that makes you think of autumn, even though summer hasn't really ended yet. I give the lens a little smile, but I can feel the nerves buzzing under my skin. It doesn't show much hope. Okay, so here's the plan. For the next couple of days, I'll be hiking a trail connected to some of the weirdest, most unexplained disappearances in the region. You've probably read the stories online. People vanish here. Not just hikers getting lost, either experienced outdoorsmen, whole groups, and sometimes their stuff is found neat and clean, like they just set it down and walk away. I pause for a second, lowering the camera. Talking to the lens is one thing, but out here, in the silence, it feels like I'm talking to no one. Or worse, like someone else is listening. I shake my head, laugh quietly, and bring the camera back up. Anyway, let's keep this straight. This isn't about ghosts or monsters. Not yet. At least, I'm here to document, to look at the facts, to see what's really behind the myth. People love to spin a good campfire story. Right, so let's see how much of it holds up when we're out here for real. I spread a map on a flat rock and film it. The red marker line traces the trailhead to a looping ridge, ending at a valley that's barely on any map. I tap it with my finger. This is where one of the most famous cases happened. A search party combed the whole area for weeks. Found nothing. Not a shoe, not a shred of clothing. Just tracks that led into the woods and stopped down to eerie. I slide my finger west, over a shaded canyon. There was a family that vanished in the 50s. They were out camping, left their tent, their fire still burning, food on the table, gone, like someone hit pause on their lives. I glance around, as if expecting to see some ranger come storming through the trees to tell me I am exaggerating. Of course, it's silent, just me, the trees, and the occasional gust of wind. But hey, you know me, I don't just want to retell spooky stories. I want to see it, to show you what it's really like to stand where it happened. So, let's hit the trail. I shoulder my pack and walk, camera bouncing slightly with each step. The trail crunches underfoot, birds chatter high above, but their sound doesn't quite reach the forest floor. It's strange, realizing how dense everything is out here, like the trees swallow up the sound. After a while, I stop to catch my breath and do another piece to camera. Okay, so here's a little context. The Appalachian Mountains stretch over, what, 1,500 miles? They're ancient. Older than the Rockies, older than most ranges on the planet. And with age comes history. Whole towns built and abandoned, mines dug and collapsed, trails cut and forgotten. People disappear out here. Partly because it's easy. You step off the path, you're swallowed whole. I pause, scratching my chin. But then you get the other stuff. The stuff people don't like writing about in official reports. The accounts of weird lights, echoes that don't match, voices in the woods. I've read about hunters who swore they saw copies of themselves walking the ridges, like the mountain place tricks. I say it lightly, almost mocking, but a shiver still creeps down my spine. To cover it, I laugh into the camera. So yeah, I'm here to prove or disprove all of that. You know me, I don't scare easy. Well, usually. Something clanks in the distance. Metal on metal, sharp, out of place in the soft rustle of the forest. I freeze mid-step. The sound echoes, then fades. For a second, I think of mine shafts, rusted tools, or maybe just a loose sign swaying in the wind. I shake it off. You hear that? Probably nothing. Maybe an old hunter's trap. Or just my brain playing games. Don't worry, we're fine. I keep walking, laughing it away, but I don't stop glancing over my shoulder. The trees stand tall and dark, A wall of trunks fading into shadow the deeper you look. As I close out the day's recording, I set the tripod and film myself against the backdrop of fading sunlight. The horizon bleeds orange and purple, clouds stretched like torn fabric over the hills. Alright, that's day one, folks. Tomorrow, I'll head further up, closer to where the trail starts to get interesting. Stick around, we're just getting started. I give the lens a grin, wave, and cut the shot. What I don't notice what the camera does is the figure between the trees behind me. Perfectly still, perfectly dark. Watching. The tent wasn't hard to set up. I've done this a dozen times for other trips though. None of them had the weight of this one. I keep my voice light, upbeat, as I tilt the camera down toward the stakes going into the soil. Alright folks, here's camp for tonight. Nothing fancy, just me, the trees, and probably way too much instant ramen. I laugh, a little too loudly, filling the quiet with something human. I angle the lens toward my backpack, pulling out gadgets one by one, like a magician showing off tricks. The small portable stove, the flashlight, the compact drone I might or might not use. For a moment, it feels like every other vlog I've shot. Me, explaining gear. Me, pretending not to notice how the shadows stretch longer than they should. When the sun dips below the line of trees, the light shifts. Everything is blue, muted. The kind of tone cameras never quite capture right. I keep the recording going, trying to convince myself I'm not unnerved. Okay, night one in the Appalachian bed. Let's see how this goes. The silence after my voice drops is heavier than expected. It's not just the absence of sound, it's presence. As if the forest is leaning in, listening. The air cools fast, too fast. My breath curls faintly in front of me when I exhale. The snap echoes from somewhere deeper in the trees. I jerk my head toward it, heart thumping, then laugh again, softer this time. Guess I'm not the only one out here, huh? My hand is steady when I bring the camera around, but inside, my chest feels tight. The lens shows nothing, just black between trunks. Too black. Later, lying inside the tent with the light from my lantern bouncing against the nylon walls, the wind kicks up suddenly, like a switch was flipped. I sit up, listening. The branches groan and whip, though only seconds before. The air was completely still. I mutter, half to the camera, half to myself. That was fast, real fast. It settles again, like nothing happened. The quiet creeps back in. I can't sleep, so I decide to review footage. The laptop screen glows pale against my face, and I talk quietly for the vlog checking day one. Let's see what we've got. Most of it looks normal me. Hiking, me rambling. The little jokes I throw in to keep the tone light. But when I scroll back to the moment near camp, just after sunset, I notice something. The audio spikes. Tiny. Barely visible in the waveform. I rewind, press play, turn up the volume. The sound is there. Faint. A whisper at the edge of hearing. Not wind. Not an animal. Something with rhythm. Words, maybe? Too low to make out. My skin prickles as I lean closer to the screen. I pause, roll it back again, crank the volume higher. This time, I swear there's a shape in the sound. A syllable, like someone standing just beyond the mic, breathing the word into the dark. The screen freezes. The laptop goes black, battery dead. And for the first time, all day, I realize I'm glad the camera isn't pointing at my face right now because they look in my eyes. Those belong in a... Alright guys, new day, new energy, let's go. I say into the camera, forcing a grin that doesn't feel natural. My voice cracks a little. I adjust the strap on my pack and pan the lens across the trees, pretending I'm just as hyped as I was yesterday. Inside, though I feel heavier, the silence of the night lingers in my chest like fog. I talk to myself under my breath. You're fine. It's just nerves. It's the woods. They always sound alive, but the way I say it, dos son te convincemi. The trail ahead looks the same as yesterday, muddy stretches. Clusters of oak and pine, shadows that overlap so thickly it feels like the forest has no depth. I keep my GPS clipped to the strap, pointing it out for the video. So, for anyone following along, I'm using this to track my hike. And it's a little jumpy today. But hey, satellites, right? I laugh. But the numbers flicker again, coordinates skipping like a scratched CD. I tap the screen harder than I need to. It's fine. It's fine. Hours pass. The trail seems endless. My legs ache in a way they shouldn't for this distance. You've done longer hikes than this. Why does it feel stretched? I muttered to myself, shaking my head. I keep filming anyway, narrating things. I don't care about the shape of a tree, the color of most anything to fill the silence then. Easy Italiano, half hidden under leaves, near the trail, a canteen. Not rusted, not old. Polished metal, recent scratches. A plastic cap that hasn't dulled from weather. I crouch, camera wobbling in my hand, and swallow. Okay, so this is weird. Somebody must have dropped this recently. I rotate it in my hands. It's cold. Colder than it should be from just lying there. If you're watching this, and it's yours, well, I guess you're not too far ahead of me, huh? I force a chuckle, but feel the hair on my arms rise. I shove it into my pack. My thoughts spiral. What if it belongs to one of the people who vanished? What if it's just a hiker? What if I'm not alone? I speak out loud, too quickly. Somebody's probably just ahead. Yeah, it's nothing. But the path feels longer the more I walk. The trees are closer. Their roots like hands trying to trip me. I keep glancing back at the GPS, watching the arrow twitch. It jumps, freezes, then moves again as if it can't decide where I am. I grip the strap of my bag until my knuckles ache. By the time the sun starts lowering, my face feels tight, my voice strained. I set the camera on a rock, pointed at the horizon. Alright folks, you know I always film the sunset for you, I say, trying to sound casual. I listen to my own footsteps crunch on the leaves as I shift my stance. Crunch. Another crunch one. Second too late. My body stiffens. Stop moving. The sound doesn't. I freeze, staring at the trees. The camera's still rolling. My breath is loud in my ears. Not me. I whisper, barely audible, as the sun dips behind the ridgeline. The morning feels wrong from the start. I don't say that into the camera, though. Instead, I force the same tone I've been using. Okay, day 4. Guys, we keep moving. Trail's supposed to curve north today. Let's see where it takes us. My smile is brittle. I don't trust my own voice anymore. By noon, I stumble on something I can't laugh off. The trees open into a small clearing, uneven ground pressed flat by something heavy once standing there. I tilt the camera around, narrating quietly. Looks like maybe an old camp? Could have been hunters, or my words falter when the lens captures scraps scattered across the dirt, a shredded top, a broken camping stove, half-buried food wrappers so faded they crumble when I touch them. But some things aren't old. A tripod snapped in two, a Cometa body lens shattered like it was stomped on. I pick it up, turn it toward my own lens. This isn't from long ago. My fingers shake. The plastic is still clean. In a pile of leaves, I notice paper. I kneel, brushing it off pages torn from a notebook, smeared and water damaged. Words scrolled too fast to read. Ink bled into black veins. I can only catch fragments. Not safe. Moving again. Don't trust. The rest is gone. I sit back on my heels, muttering to myself. They were here. Someone was here. My heart pounds. What if it's them? The missing ones. What if this is what they left behind? For a second, I forget I'm filming. My thoughts running out loud. Why didn't anyone find this? Among the debris, I find a small case of memory cards. Most are snapped in half, edges blackened as if burned, but one is intact. My throat dries. I slide it into my laptop, nerves buzzing, whispering, "Please work. Please." The screen flickers. A fragment of a video plays grainy, corrupted, but clear enough. Figures walking through the same trail I took yesterday. Their voices are sharp, anxious. They keep turning their heads as if listening. I lean close, muttering, "Oh God." They were right here. The footage jumps, glitches, then freezes on a single frame. One of them staring back into the camera, eyes wide, mouth open midward. The screen cuts black. I slam the laptop shut. My reflection glares back in the dark plastic, sweat shining on my forehead. "They weren't alone," I whisper, both to myself and to the lens still rolling beside me. "And neither am I that night." I set my camera to record while I sit by my own small fire. I talk, voice shaking, about the clearing, about the footage, but I can't finish my sentences. Something out there is listening. I feel it. At some point I hear crackling. Not mine. I lift the camera, zoom toward the distance. Through the trees, another fire burns faintly, too steady to be chance. Relief mixes with dread proof of someone else. But then the screen shows it. I freeze, breath snagging in my throat. Around that distant fire, a figura sits. It's me. I point the camera at my watch. "So, this thing's broken, apparently," I say with a half smile that doesn't reach my eyes. "According to this, I lost what? 3 hours? No way. I was just filming sunrise. It's not even noon." I tilt the watch toward the lens, the hands ticking wrong, skipping seconds, stuttering like bad footage. "Off camera," I mutter. "That's not possible. You'd know if you lost that much time." But the thought sinks its claws in. The batteries don't help. Everything dies too fast. Flashlight, drone controller, even the backup pack. I joke for the vlog. Guess the woods are hungry for lithium, huh? My voice is strained. Or something's draining it. Walking the trail, I try to keep talking, to keep the silence from crawling under my skin. "So day. What day is this?" 4. 5. Sorry guys, I'm a little mixed up. I scratch my temple. My stomach twists when I realize I don't actually know. The sun arcs too fast. Shadows crawling longer like spilled ink. Night comes early, morning too soon. Time feels wrong. The footsteps are louder now, always a beat behind me. Crunch when I crunch. Pause when I pause. I turn fast, camera jerking, but the trail behind me is empty. The air feels thick, pressing against my ears. Then the first object appears. A lighter. My lighter. The exact one in my pocket. I freeze, patting my jacket, pulling it out to show the lens. "Okay, you see this? I have mine. This one's another one. Same scratches, same dent." I laugh shakily. What are the odds? Right? My throat tightens as I drop it back on the dirt. Later, it's a glove, my glove. The one still stuffed in my bag. Same faded logo, same tear at the thumb. I film it close, whispering, "Why? Why is my stuff here before me?" By dusk, my hands won't stop trembling. I'm muttering more than I'm speaking into the camera. This isn't just paranoia. Something's wrong. Something's rewriting things. When the sun bleeds into the tree line, I see it. Sitting against the base of a tree is a backpack. My backpack. Same straps, same patches, same stupid keychain, dangling from the zipper. No, that's impossible, I whisper. My knees give a little as I approach. I still have mine. I'm carrying it. I feel its weight on my shoulders as I stare at the other one. I crouch, aim the lens, hands shaking. This is mine. But it's not. But it is. My voice cracks. Inside the duplicate bag, there are tapes, memory cards, and in one of them my voice, my face, older, eyes hollow, cheeks gone. I'm gasping into the lens, whispering words I can't quite hear over the static. The camera in my hands records me staring into my own ruined future. I keep recording because stopping feels worse than moving forward. The camera's weight has become something familiar, almost like a second spine keeping me upright. And yet, when I check the files, when I scroll back through the clips I thought I made, there are things there I don't remember. Versions of me. Porton. Thinner. Hollow-eyed. Limping. One of them clutching his side like he'd been stabbed. Another whispering words I can't quite make out. I look at the dates, no sense at all. Sometimes they're stamped as days. I haven't lived yet. Sometimes they say yesterday when I know I wasn't there. I catch myself laughing for the camera, trying to play it off. Yeah, guys, looks like I've got a stunt double out here. Maybe the Appalachians hired an actor to prank me, right? But my voice cracks at the end. I hear it. I feel it. When I play the footage back again, something new bleeds through. Response is, I talk sometimes joking, sometimes venting, and there are whispers that rise after me. Too quiet at first, then sharper. Not quite echo, not quite imitation. Who are you talking to? I mutter under my breath, pacing with the lens half covering my face. And then I hear it. A reply. Not aloud, but so close. It chills my teeth. You. I freeze, staring at the screen. Rewinding again and again. It's not me. My lips didn't move. My throat didn't tighten that way. Someone else said it. Someone who sounds like me but strained, worn down, older. Stop it, I whisper. Louder now, almost pleading. It's just feedback, just bad mic pickup. But even as I say it, I can feel the lies sticking to my tongue. The days loop weird. I wake up, not sure if it's morning or dusk. Sometimes the sun is higher than it should be. Sometimes it disappears too fast. I don't even know if I'm walking the same trail anymore. It's like the forest is folding me back into places I've already been. They have Oberandober. I've set up my tent in the same clearing twice. I swear the ashes of a fire I lit last night are already cold when I find them again in the morning. I stepped where my own footprints already sink into the mud, but deeper, older, like I've been here more than once. Like I've been here forever. Forever. Okay guys, update. I think I'm getting loopy. Maybe lack of sleep. Maybe hunger. Don't worry though, I'll figure it out. I say it with the camera steady on my face, forcing the grin, but I don't believe a single word. And when I rewind that clip, there's another laugh layered faintly behind mine. Same tone, but cracked. Like my vocal cords have been ground to dust. I start avoiding my own eyes in the viewfinder. By late afternoon, the pressure is back. The forest doesn't feel like silence anymore. It feels like something waiting to interrupt me, like breath held all around me. I mutter to myself, don't give it attention. Don't give it space. The crunch of leaves follows me. Not echoing, not delayed, just present. A fraction of a second off from my own steps, like a duet where the partner doesn't know the song. Not real. I hiss into the mic. Not real. Not real. But when I swing the camera around fast, I catch something in the corner of the frame. A blur. Shoulders. The back of a head that looks too familiar. I pause. Rewind. Frame by frame. And there it is again, me. Me walking ahead of myself, fading into the trees. I feel sick. Night comes faster than I expect. My light falters. Batteries draining like the air itself is sucking them dry. I whisper into the dark, after the camera, after myself. Don't look. Just sleep. Just wait it out. But I do look. I can't help it. The lens catches something pale in the underbrush, a shape slumped against a tree trunk. I know instantly what it is. My chest knots, my throat closes, but I walk closer anyway, whispering every few steps. No, no, no. The smell hits first, rot, sweet, and sharp. My flashlight trembles across the figure, across skin mottled green and black. Clothing like mine, shoes like mine. The camera jerks as I drop to my knees. The face. It's me. Skin sagging, jaw crooked, eyes glazed white. But still fixed forward right where I'm standing now. The body's hands are curled tight around the same camera model I hold. A black mirror between us. I can't breathe. I hear my own voice break the silence. Not a whisper this time, but a scream splitting raw through the trees. That's not me. That's not me. But the recording doesn't stop. My camera stays steady. The lens stares while I fall apart. And somewhere in the distance, my own scream continues, even after my throat is closed. The journal is falling apart in my hands. Pages damp, edges curling like burned paper. I found it stuffed beneath a collapsed tent, half buried in soil that smelled of mold. The handwriting isn't neat, but it's desperate. Jagged light. Like every word had to be dragged onto the page before it was too late. I read aloud at first, because talking to the camera has become second nature. Day 15, maybe? Time doesn't line up anymore. Voices in the woods. They sound like me, but wrong. I stop. My throat feels tight. I flip another page, careful not to tear it. Day 20-something. Food's gone. Battery's dead. Still filming. Somehow. Can't remember walking here, but I wake up in the same spot every morning. Like I never left. I laugh under my breath, but it comes out sharp, bitter. Sound familiar. Guys. Derbu Central. The entries go on, overlapping like echo. Each writer, if it even was more than one, talks about footsteps that don't match their own. The feeling of being hunted by their reflection. Some pages mention objects turning up twice, or time skipping like a corrupted video file. My chest grows heavier with every line. Finally, one page nails me in place. I think the trail is a loop. Not a trail at all, but a trap. You walk, and it bends you back into itself. Maybe that's why no one leaves. Maybe we already did, and we just came back. I drop the journal. My hands won't stop shaking. I rub in my face and mutter. Alf to myself, half to anyone still watching. It's not just me. It's all of them. It's all of us. We've been walking the same circle. Maybe forever. The thought drills down until it feels like it's splitting my skull. What if I never left the first day? What if I've been here the whole time, chewing through the same hours, the summiters, the same trees, again and again, pretending there's a way out? I flip the camera to my face, my smile long gone, my voice low and uneven. Maybe the mountain doesn't eat you. Maybe it just folds you in, copies you until you don't know which version is real, until you're just another shadow wandering the loop. The forest groans around me. I swear the air gets heavier, pressing on my ribs. I'd pace in a tight circle, eyes darting between the trees. Every trunk looks the same, every patch of moss, identical, like I'm inside a picture that redraws itself, no matter which way I turn. I force myself to speak again, even though my lips feel numb. I don't think I'm the first. I don't think I'll be the last. And maybe I never was the original. That last word slips out like a confession. My knees nearly buckle. I point the camera back at the journal, but the letters blur and swim, almost like the ink is still wet, still being written by some unseen hand, repeating the cycle as I read it. The silence cuts sharp. Not just quiet expectant, like the whole forest is holding its breath, waiting for me to understand. My pulse thrums in my ears, and then I hear it. A voice. Not far. Not whispered. Strong. Familiar. Hey. I freeze. The camera dips, almost slipping from my fingers. It's me. The exact cadence. The exact tone. Calling from between the trees. My own voice. Clear. As if he'd just spoken. Come here. lens shakes as I raise it toward the sound. The trees sway like they're parting, the shadows bending open just wide enough for someone to step through. And before the figure even shows, before I see anything at all, I know what's waiting there. I made a choice tonight. No more cutting corners, no more laughing it off for the camera. If this is where it ends, then I'm going to document every second of it. Proof. Even if no one ever sees it. Even if this file rots with me out here, it'll exist. That matters. I sit by the fire, the flames snapping in the damp air. My voice is steadier than I expect when I lift the camera. Okay, guys, if you're still watching, if this ever gets out, just remember me like this. Not hiding, not running, just telling the truth. I pan the lens across the clearing. The trees are rigid silhouettes, black teeth gnashing at the sky. Smoke curls up, but it doesn't disperse. It hangs above me, trapped like everything else. I keep talking, because silence feels like surrender. The journal was right. It's a loop. We're not lost, we're trapped. Over and over again, folding into ourselves, copies on top of copies. And then I see it. A figure, just at the edge of the firelight. The shape is familiar to familiar. My chest tightens, but I refuse to lower the camera. Their fire pops, and the glow catches. Another, and another. One by one, they step into the half-light, circling me. All of them. Me? Each version, clutching something. Some hold cameras like mine, older models cracked and dirt-stained. Others hold recorders, lenses clouded, wires dangling. One of them has a camera so ancient it looks more like a relic than equipment. But they're all filming me, pointing the lenses right at me, the way I've been pointing mine at everything else. I laugh once, short, broken. Guess I'm the star of the show. Huh. My voice warbles, but I don't stop. I can't stop, because if I do, I think they'll swallow me whole. The fire snaps louder, like it's gasping for air. Shadows leap across their faces, and in the shifting light I see what I never wanted to see, their differences. Some at dinner, some sickly, some with eyes sunken, some bleeding from cracks in their skin. All smiling, all patient. They don't speak, but the cameras hum. The red lights blink like a heartbeat. Steady, synchronized. My own Camera S battery icon dips lower, but I keep narrating. They've been here before me. They are me. I don't know which of us is the original anymore. Maybe none of us are. Maybe we're just echoes on the loop. The circle tightens. I swivel, catching one close to my shoulder, his face streaked with dirt, teeth clenched in something between a grin and a snarl. His lens reflects me back into infinity. I hear myself mutter, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." But they're all edging closer, step by step. The sound of leaves crunching in unison, like a drum beat. My pulse syncs with it, hammering. I shout, just to remind myself, I still have a voice. I'm still here. I'm still me. The fire sputters, flares, then drops low. Their shadows stretch across me until I'm drowning in myself. My breath comes fast, ragged. I beg the camera, whispering now. Don't stop recording. Don't you dare stop. One of them leans closer. His face is inches from mine. His eyes swollen shut. Lips cracked, whispering without sound. I can feel heat off his skin, though he looks half dead. He raises a hand, slow, deliberate. My own hand shakes so violently the footage blurs. No fingers brush my arm. The screen glitches. Lines tear across the image. The firelight fractures into shards. My own scream cuts into static. Then, black. The feed returns with a faint glitch, as though dragged back from static by a force that doesn't want it to end. I am there again, sitting in the circle of wooden chairs, the fire extinguished, the night thick as tar. My posture is different now. I'm not trembling, not frantic, not even resisting. I am simply still, resigned. The camera catches me in an unflinching frame, hunched forward, hands on my knees, eyes hollow and unblinking. My face is illuminated only by the red glow of the recording icon. When I finally speak, my voice is stripped of urgency. It is not the panicked breath of someone fighting to survive, but the low, steady cadence of someone who already knows the outcome. If you're watching this, I whisper, lips dry and cracked. It's already too late. The words echo faintly, bouncing back from walls that do not exist. It feels as though the forest itself absorbs them, swallows them whole, and then returns them in distorted fragments. Somewhere in the distance, a rhythm of breathing emerges. Not mine, not just one. Dozens of breaths, layered over one another, weaving into a suffocating chorus that fills the silence. I don't flinch. I don't look for the source. I already understand. I am no longer the observer. I am the observed. The camera does not cut away. It lingers, as though waiting for something definitive, but nothing arrives. I stare ahead, my pupils wide, my expression neither fear nor relief. Only acceptance. The firelight that once flickered is gone, leaving behind a darkness so complete that the outline of my body blurs at the edges. My skin, my clothes, even the contours of my face seem to dissolve into the shadows, pixel by pixel, frame by frame. The breaths grow louder. They surround me, press inward. Yet the screen reveals nothing. No figures, no silhouettes, no shapes of men hiding beyond the circle. Only sound. Primera inhale, once deeply, as though joining them, sinking with the rhythm. For a moment, my chest rises and falls in perfect time with the multitude around me. I am one of many. Or perhaps I always was. The camera glitches briefly horizontal lines, tearing across the frame. When the picture stabilizes, my eyes are fixed directly on the lens. Not past it, not through it, but into it. There is a strange clarity in my gaze now, as though I am not just recording a message, but watching whoever has found it, watching you. I speak again, quieter this time. You thought you were safe because you were only watching, but that's how it starts. That's how it always starts. My voice cracks on the last word, though not from fear or from exhaustion. A long pause follows, a silence heavy enough to crush the air. My lips part as if to continue, but no further words come. Instead, the sound of synchronized breathing thickens, multiplying until it becomes almost mechanical, a distorted loop, a cycle without end. The static begins creeping back, blotting the edges of the frame. My outline flickers, fragments, as though something is tugging me from the recording into the distortion itself. My form stretches, warps, then contracts again. For a second, my body is nothing but a silhouette identical to the figures I once chased, identical to the ones that circled me. Then, stillness. The last image of me is not of panic, nor of fight, but of surrender. A face emptied of expression, lips slightly parted, eyes wide open yet unseeing. I do not scream. I do not resist. I simply exist until I don't. The sound cuts out abruptly. No crackle, no pop, no final gasp of the machine. Just silence. The recording doesn't end with a fade, nor with a glitch, but with the most chilling of closures. Nothing at all. An absence so complete, it feels deliberate. The screen lingers black, long enough that the viewer wonders if something will return, if another fragment will bleed through, but it doesn't. There are no final warnings, no last revelations. Only the knowledge that the story doesn't belong to me anymore, that it never did. And as the seconds stretch into endless dark, the implication becomes unavoidable. I am no longer a storyteller, no longer a witness. I am part of what waits beyond the frame. Part of the breaths in the dark, part of the countless who vanished. The final seconds of the video contain nothing but silence sieti. That silence feels heavier than any scream. Then, with a suddenness that leaves no room for hope, the feed ends.